I've finished.
Yeah, no, we've started because I've just hit go live.
Yeah.
I know.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, we had to divert from the Nickelback talk, huh, Bill?
No
And
more.
all other genders, we are not exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
I do exclude one person.
Yeah.
Well, that's more of a thing than a gender, though.
Technically, medically, he is actually still human. I know it's doubtful at times, but
I was trying to figure out how if you mix mold with certain DNA, it turns into a human. But anyway,
you've been fruity.
Hi, Ellie. I'm
Yeah,
Fruity.
Lee.
Right, what have you lot been up to this week?
Not a vast amount.
Okay.
Went,
Had videos.
see, getting enough hours at work, the paycheck looks nice, but nobody's actually doing a whole hell of a lot because, well, there's no energy left.
The paycheck looks nice, but you'll be taxed on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the fun part. Is this? There's that lovely line in the tax brackets over here.
Yeah.
Where if I
Hey,
hit
Mel.
over
Hi,
a certain money amount, I lose an extra $100. Hey, Mel.
yeah, went to a memorial service yesterday, which was good to catch up with a lot of people that some of them I've not seen for 15 years. And bought a new toy.
What is this once a week thing happening now, Bill?
No. Nothing's come out this week that's worth ordering.
No, that's Craig. It's usually Craig that buys something once a week.
Well, I haven't bought anything this week.
See, I thought Bill was going to be scanning up for the whole Hexome thing. I thought we were taking a little bit of time, you know.
There's nothing worth, to be honest, Bill's right. There is nothing worth, apart from that mod he's got, the BP mods.
I'll be honest, I'm interested to see one mod coming out and not out of interest of buying it. I just want to see how it's, design-wise and everything else, how ripped off it is with other designs. And that's bogus.
How much is ripped off Mike?
Well, being the mech, I wouldn't see it ripped off Mike, but I can definitely see it copying like the swordfish and shit like that.
Yeah.
Either the swordfish or one of Oscar's mods.
Mm.
The Hyperion Bogan edition.
Yeah.
Mm. With extra sleeves with it as well.
Was it a friend that had passed? Yes, it was. Somebody who had been a big part of my life for about 10 years.
Well, Matt, you asked, what have you been doing all week?
Not a lot, to be honest. Done a lot of driving this week. Been to Belfast this week. Just a lot of driving. Seem to be driving all week.
Now, is it more like driving to a location to get something done, or are you just kind of wandering again?
No, not wandering. Not wandering aimlessly like normal. No, I went to. We had an appointment in Belfast that I had to go to with a solicitor to deal with a legal matter.
That tends to be why you go to solicitors.
Oh.
I mean, at least he's doing that this way instead of years ago. He would have just handled it himself. So,
Yeah, but I'm just trying to work out though. How come solicitors are legal, but soliciting's illegal?
Oh, God.
The different
type of stuff.
So we're 5 minutes in and you've just dropped the subject to prostitution. And why is
wait, give it 5 more seconds. We're 5 minutes in.
Yeah, But prostitution isn't illegal.
No, the appointment was in Belfast. That's where the solicitors was, so I had to go there.
Yeah,
Now we know why Matt's actually taking the long drives. Okay.
Prostitution's legal, so why is soliciting illegal?
Good question. It's not illegal everywhere, is it?
No, not everywhere. It's legal in America.
Is this one of your pastimes, Tyler?
Can't even
No?
film a tank. Can't even film a tank without something. Anyway.
It was just a civil
It was a
question.
question.
Well, you want to talk about things being legal and illegal over here? We can go back to the list of lovely random laws from different states that make so much sense. Like, please
Oh,
don't
no,
walk
we're not
alligator on the
going there.
sidewalk
No,
on
we're not.
Sundays. And
No, because we know certain states there are
It's,
some things that are definitely frowned upon in most of the rest of the world that are legal there.
I'll say, more than
Fruity,
frowned
I
upon,
haven't.
but
There is no real subject, to be fair, tonight. Whatever you want it to be.
now I just have the mental image of a farm of Ewoks sitting there. Come on, corral this way. Get the sheepdog out.
You
Well, no,
see,
he-
it's
sorry,
like,
no, have the stormtrooper out. He'll miss while he's shooting at him, so they'll hurt him properly. They won't get hurt.
he's
Oh,
taken that one sentence and just run with it, hasn't he?
Yes. And it just proves that the stormtroopers are American.
Yeah.
Oh.
I can see that.
Mm.
See, I knew it. Assholes. I'm surrounded by an entire ship of assholes.
Mm.
Yeah, but you're always drawn to the type of people that you are.
Yeah, you got a good point there, bud.
If you're going to insult, if you're going to be insulted, at least make it a good insult. Come on, Tyler.
No, you know what though?
We've taught you better.
I've said that to people at work actually this week. Like guy had his machine go down. What'd you do? Oh, just this little part. We just got to replace a bearing or whatever, something stupid. I'm like, if you're going to do it proper.
Yeah.
So I was down for 6 hours last week, one day. Yeah, what happened? Well, I broke 3 of the motors. So if you're going to do it,
No, if you're going to really get up, do it properly. Really.
Yeah.
oh no, the best is the main motor that runs the actual machine. They replace it one week. The next week, I'm telling you, it's grinding. No, it's fine. It's grinding. I'm telling you, just keep running it. Okay.
I mean, we
Just
could.
Dead stops one day. Take all
You-
5 panels off. Get the motor taken out. They're like, oh, this has been free and fine. Tank and the shaft breaks in half on the actual motor.
All right. I will
Yeah,
put one
that's-
subject forward for a comedy. Okay, I think it's hilarious anyway. Has anyone watched the footage of Donald Trump's latest shooting?
I have not seen the footage for that. I've heard all
You've-
of the
right, you've
reports.
gotta
I saw the
watch-
latest update on it, but I haven't seen the
There's
footage.
two things that I find hilariously funny about it. The first one is them bungling the fact that the bloke got in there with a gun,
That was the thing. After how much security you're supposed to have.
right? Okay, that's the
He
first
ran,
thing.
he ran past 6 security guards.
Of your presidential security guards, highly trained, best in the world.
I think though they might have been highly trained for previous presidents. Trump probably fired those guys and hired his distant cousins.
Didn't think of that. That's a very good point,
I
Tyler.
It's
wonder
very-
what
it's very
breed they
possible.
were then.
Did they speak German?
Russian.
No, I would say they probably spoke
Chinese.
German. Maybe wore uniforms with sort of SS on the collar,
It-
sort of type thing.
Either that or now we can insult the people of saying his heritage.
Secret
You
Service.
know,
Oh, we can if you want.
I'm
With
not
what
insulting that group of people. I'm not
With,
stupid.
with what I was reading last night, we definitely can.
No, I meant if him being like, well, I went to my homeland and brought people back to
Conspiracies.
protect me. No, you
Here's
didn't.
a
They've done a better job.
Here's a good one for you, Tyler. Conspiracy.
Oh, these are always good.
Donald's dad We know he got out of Germany 1927-ish. He ran away from Germany. Okay.
Okay.
And he moved to New York. And his brother, Fred's brother, which was Donald's dad,
Yeah.
was a Nazi SS officer. Okay? That's the first thing. The second thing is Fred was arrested in Washington, D.C. at a rally, and I'll say who it was for in a minute. A rally in Washington, D.C. There were thousands of people there, and they were all dressed in white sheets with pointy hats.
I'm
Right?
just not surprised.
There were 8
Go
people
on.
arrested at this rally. He was one of them, but he said, I'm not in the KKK. I just happened to be at a KKK rally and got arrested, but it had nothing to do with me.
Well,
I mean, hey, maybe he wasn't actually chanting with them. You know, maybe he has the speech thing that Trump does, and you try to say okay and okay. You know, it just happened to come out that way.
You could be right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair point, Tyler. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, plausible deniability of stupid. Oh, never mind.
It's when I looked back into it though, the amount of dodgy deals that his dad did.
Especially in the early days to get actually started.
1951, he bequeathed money to Donald. 500 million.
And Donald was how old at this point?
He would have been. He was. I mean,
Was under the age of 10.
It would be.
Oh well, you'll realise why in a minute, because no tax was paid on it.
I was gonna say that's been a thing over here. They fought all the way up until the late 90s, early 2000s. People putting cards and credit cards in their kids' names and bank accounts.
I just love the way
no tax on it.
there's all this information there, which even in America is accessible to you. The same as it is with us, with our dodgy lot of politicians. These politicians, they're all dodgy.
Well,
And nobody sort of looks into it. Like, oh no, he's all right. He's not that bad.
well, and that's not even the worst it gets me. It's not even always not that bad. It's, there's worse people out there. That doesn't negate the fact of what they're doing.
Not much worse.
If you have full transparency in all activities, yeah, they're not much worse.
They had to throw him out the war room, for Christ's sake, because he was trying to get the nuclear button.
I'm just really hoping they replace that red button with like one of the on-off light ones. So you go, oh, I have a good idea. Oh, it went away. Oh, I have a good idea. Oh,
no, they've just taken the codes off him.
Yeah.
I mean, you shouldn't have had him in the first place. Let's be.
Yeah,
real.
I do remember that,
But,
Martin.
You know,
Yeah. That is, when you think about that, from me, you know, like,
that was a sick moment. I remember that.
You know, having kids, you think about that, saying it about your own. No.
I mean, it's not a good range, but he's from that shitty, horrible end of the spectrum all the way to now he's complimenting UFC fighters apparently that are very handsome to him.
I mean, it's fair enough if you said, if you say about your daughter when she's sort of older and she's got dressed up to go out or something, and she went, oh, she looked really nice. She looked really pretty.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's a normal comment. There's nothing wrong with saying that about your daughter. But sexy, that's kind of.
Yeah.
That's no.
That's disturbing. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, there's certain things shouldn't be said out loud. Or even thought.
I was gonna say it shouldn't even be a thought process, man.
Yeah, but in his head it is.
Yeah, that is the worrying bit.
It was like, I don't know if you guys have seen. I'm pretty sure he's a Scottish comedian, Daniel Sloss.
Yeah.
So you've seen his specials and everything. He did bring up one. I get it's part of a comedy special, but he did bring up a good point. He's making a joke about X Factor, right? And you know the outfits some people wear, especially being like celebrities that are role models for kids. And you got these parents complaining, well, can you believe that they wore that and they're a role model for children? Okay, well, first off, even if your kid likes the type of clothes that celebrity is wearing, they're a child, so you shouldn't even be an issue because you don't buy them the clothes. That's just kind of common sense. And then he had to make it very abrupt. It's like, okay, so even if the kids did get a hold of the same outfits these celebrities are wearing for these shows, why does that upset you so much? Well, it's going to tempt people to be, that way inclined, seeing kids dressed that way. And then he said the best part, I don't care what you do as far as a fashion choice. I'm not mind-numbingly stupid. It's a child. I know it's a child. It will always be a child. That changes nothing. People are going to be that way inclined because they're mentally sick and have their own issues. It's not because of a fashion choice of an age group.
How would you like me to reply to that? 3 of us have beards and one is the odd one out. Well, yes. Craig doesn't want to grow a beard.
And I look like I'm 14 without it. So,
Yeah. I usually get to the itchy stage and shave it off whenever it goes longer.
The thing is, if you grew a long enough beard, you could do a beard over.
No, see, I want to see him in one of those German beard competitions. I want to see it twist
as well.
Beard, Go tie it in a bow.
If old man ends up a Hamlet cigar now.
Timu's easy top.
Yeah, you would suit a beard, Craig. We'll buy you one if you want. We'll get you a stick-on beard.
I'll say it's better than a suit made of beard. So,
Mm.
talk about the itchy stages is not. Yeah, that'd be an issue.
I'm not sure that Craig's better half would be impressed if he grew a beard.
Not really. Don't know.
You never know. She might, might be really impressed
If
with
he
it.
grows it big enough, he can hide new mods in there.
Hey, that's a
And the
point.
kids won't find them.
It could be
that
a new
too.
place
Look,
to
it's good. I
hide.
know, it looks nice, doesn't it?
Yeah, he could make himself a hand, a bit like a harmonica one, hide him under his beard with just the dripstick sticking out.
No,
Like
go
Billy Joel.
Wild West with it and having a spring-loaded mechanism. He pulls his ear, vape shoots out.
Hidden vape devices.
Mm.
That could be a new challenge for next week. What can you hide in your beard?
A little bit of egg, maybe a little breadcrumb, cheese.
Appetizing coils.
Martin, I don't give a fuck. Rollocks to you, mate. You can take offence as much as you like.
Mm.
I mean, if you do, though, don't take the whole thing. The dog's got to stay in the yard. Take the side of the
Yeah,
thing.
take the gate as well.
Yeah.
Bad wire everything.
Yeah, well, Tyler's in America, so it'll be white picket.
Mm.
Not
Yeah, with
over
lead
here.
paint. Yeah.
I'll say where
Yeah.
I'm at.
With lead paint, yeah.
The tallest price fence you can legally have, so nobody bothers you.
Well done, Mel. Well done. We're glad you haven't injured yourself. Yeah, we don't need you injuring yourself.
First off, proud of you, Mel. Second off, at least the plants are a little bit smaller than the trees are, so they're more easily avoidable.
Yeah, because you can still trip over the plants.
Yeah, but a tree to the forehead and, a turnip to the forehead, probably a little bit different.
Could be worse. It could be a spade to the forehead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That
Hey,
would
don't
hurt.
step on your hoe. That's all I'm going to say.
Or somebody had left a rake on the ground.
Oh, that's harsh.
Mhm.
Is Stig of the Dump Tyler's bro?
As most of your references, you're going to have to explain that one to me.
Hey, that's what Fruity said.
Mm.
That's a harsh one. That is.
So now I'm going to
It
look it up,
is.
and you're going to see the reaction of whether I'm okay. Let's see this. All right.
Stig of the Dump was a Roald Dahl book.
It was a good book, actually.
Are you sure Fruity isn't somebody you know, Tyler?
The only reason I'm going to say no is they're referencing places over there, location-wise, that most Americans don't know.
Hey, no, I'm Fruity, not bothered.
Oh,
I'll tell you if you've annoyed one of us.
No, I just wanted to see the reference so I can
I
either
find it
know
funny.
how good the insult was. It ain't about being bothered.
I mean,
Did you hear?
Okay, what I'm going to say.
if you want to insult him, just keep calling him Bobber from now on.
Did you
Yeah,
see
we've got to
Trump's
get you.
press conference afterwards, where he was saying that the ballroom, which is going to be a secure area, is really needed now?
Oh, yeah.
Well, me and Bill came up with a better idea for a secure area for Trump.
That
you
was the
can
one
help-
that includes a
You
coat
can
that
help.
helps you hug yourself.
What we do is we get a large steel box. And
Yeah.
we put Donald in it and weld it up. We take it out to the Mariana Trench and we drop it into the Mariana Trench. He can take his iPad.
Now, okay, so I have two issues or addendums to this, okay? First off, we got to be humane. You got to have air holes, okay? And the reason you got to have the air holes is because, obviously, being as full of hot air as he is, we don't want him rising back to the top. So you need to have ventilation.
Oh, believe me, if you dropped him in the Mariana Trench, he ain't rising to the
He
top.
ain't rising nowhere.
That is the deepest place on the planet.
I meant for him filling that said steel box with enough hot air that he's buoyant.
It's more likely.
But he's more likely to shit himself to death. Well, he keeps trying.
Diet Coke and Cheeto shit.
In a sealed box. What a way to
drown. He'll drown.
The bad part is his skin color, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Give him a lighter so he can flick it with the methane gas. This whole thing was a bit convenient.
He's real good at making comments
that I thought that as
well. Aren't that helpful.
I still find it hilarious though that he ran past 6 of the best security in America.
And here's another theory then. Now I've got another for you. Think about how many active military members are either refusing duty or just kind of doing their own thing, so to speak, right? Who's to say they weren't, oh no, I have to check the latest Trump tweet to be supportive and tweet back in my support of him. Oh no, I missed the gunman.
Oh, shit. Oh, sorry.
I thought it was funny how they got JD Vance in it first.
Oh, yeah.
Did you notice JD Vance was half cut? Because the security guard literally picked him out of the chair and he was like, huh?
Yeah, but Trump went flat on his face.
And that's probably why they grabbed Vance first. Just think it's going to take at least 4 guys to get Trump out of there.
And this is your fucking top echelon of politicians. It's like
I would have more, worry as far as their capabilities if I didn't have that back, on thought of maybe they shouldn't care to try really.
Do you know who your government reminds me of at the minute? The Marx Brothers. Except the Marx Brothers were actually funny.
That's more like the Three Stooges, I would say.
Funny going on over here. That's the sad part. It's sad funny. I guess I'll give you that one.
I'll say if the Marx Brothers, I wish they all impersonated Zeppo and kept their fucking mouths shut.
Because
the thing was, Zeppo was actually a genius.
Yeah, he was. They were actually funny.
True.
Very funny.
So were Three Stooges, though.
I did like Trump's
mean,
other quote.
I would like to see, you know, Stammer and Trump and Vance all together in a room just poking eyes out, and you know that I could get into that entertainment.
I would like to see him at the end of like a range, a shooting range, personally.
And now we're on to the next topic of this lovely country.
Well,
They have now officially reinstated the firing squad for execution.
oh, it's official, right?
From what I've seen, I mean, of the updates I've seen on it, but the issue isn't just the fact they've done that. 'Cause I don't agree with that. I really don't. Even there are certain people that need taken out for obvious reasons. It really depends on situation for that on me, but that wasn't the part that bothered me. That bothers me less than Trump's next comment of, I'm going to make it an instantaneous process.
You can't.
And basically make it where you get in trouble for something that's that severe, we're going to convict you as fast as possible with no real, you know, looking into it and execute you the next day.
Yeah,
that I don't like. You know,
No,
as I said,
that's-
the firing squad thing, that's a big hit or miss. I said, if it's a speedo situation, do what you got to do if you got proof. If you know for a fact this is what's going on, you do what you got to do. I don't care about that. But when innocent people can possibly get mistrialed that quickly, and then
I do agree with capital punishment on certain things if the proof in the case is irrefutable.
That's my whole thing. That is the drawing line for me. It has to be pure evidence to the point there's no way you can.
Yeah.
The thought of having Trump having anything to do with the case, with what a liar he is scary.
Well, think though. You could literally get away. You could literally get away with murder, get on trial. You know, Mr. President, you're awful handsome today. You're looking good. You working out? Let him go. He's pardoned. Let him go.
You know,
I'll be honest with you, mate. I think the whole thing with America at the minute, I think as a country, if your country gets any worse, which I think it will.
Well, the only saving grace we have at this point, things I've noticed more and more between local state governments and, well, honestly, people that even Trump's appointed that are basically just kind of fluffing the story to him. So he thinks he's doing certain things he's not actually doing. That and the state, local governments trying to change certain laws that override it, where he can't just widespread change things. It is helping, but it's only helping deter things getting worse faster. It's not making anything really better. You know what I mean?
You're not going to make anything better now because
exactly.
Your main customers won't buy from you now.
No.
Your main suppliers won't supply to you now.
I was gonna say give supplies in the beginning. That's
and your only customers are internal to America, and very soon won't be able to afford what America can produce.
It's realistically
supplies.
We were talking this, fuck's sake. All I've got now is Lemmy doing jokes. But anyway, you've got nothing for industry
and
coming into America.
See, I love that you brought that up though, because I've got people that I work with, so that are some of the older guys, sitting there that might say, well, now we can build these things in America again, and we're gonna it'll be American made again. Okay, first of all, there's a lot of issues with that. We've got supply influxes went down and pretty much stopped for a lot of raw material. So you have that issue. Yeah. It's been how many years since we've had that level of industry over here for mass production of anything outside of food? We'll call it that. So now the infrastructure is gone, the factories are gone, the machining's gone, the skill set is definitely gone.
Yeah.
To even run these equipment and do it properly and not have things fall to pieces. You've got a minimum. If you were to actually do this and actually say, okay, we're going to be our own industry, all right, you'd have what I think a minimum of what 35 to 50 years to get everything properly built,
Yeah.
tested, running right, dialed
Yeah.
in, and people trained to run it properly. Oh yeah.
If you've got some intelligent people about, you might do it in 15 to 20 years.
On top of that,
But that's it though. The people that do still have some of that knowledge are getting up there in years. Either they might not have had all the same, information from back then in their heads now. I mean, you're gonna forget things over 35 years retirement.
And the other
And
thing you got to
You don't
remember
want
is
to teach new kids.
those people who are getting up there in years, their skill set doesn't apply to half of the manufacturing now.
Right.
big
And
issue-
this new generation doesn't want to fucking learn either. From the old
big-
guys that knew the tricks and stuff that you need to know if you get stuck in some situations.
the big issue is you've got to be able to sell what you're making. Okay. Basic business. You have got to sell what you produce in America,
Right.
which means you have to have a good business relationship with other countries.
Oh, that's fucked it. But it's
Yeah.
not even just that. Like I said, they're still trying to have this internal only mindset of, well, we can sell to ourselves. That's not going to get you very far, unless you literally go back to take price tags off of things, and we're just going to Indian trade everything and just this amount of shit for this amount of shit, and do it that way.
How long is that going to last?
Because people are fucking greedy. That's the issue.
I've got an example of where learning from the old guys is important. I heard this from somebody who is a metallurgist for British Steel. One guy used to run one of the specialist steel furnaces. He was never seen to take a break. He kept the furnace running spot on. He retired. The steel quality dropped. They couldn't get the formulation right again. And it finished up after 2 years. They had to go back to this old boy who'd retired and say, what did you do that's different? He says, I didn't take a break. I used to pee in a can and then pour it into the top of the furnace. It's little things like that are lost. They're actually lost.
Now, is it the constant babysitting of the furnace, or the fact that he was pouring his piss in the top of it? Which one's actually making the better steel here, Bill?
Combination of the two.
Yep.
The ammonia in the piss was changing the formula just enough, and it's only the tiniest trace amounts of ammonia added
It
to
would have been a tiny trace amount too.
Yeah. But it was enough to change the steel's properties. You look at some of the specialist steels now, you're looking at 0.0002% of cobalt. You are looking at trace amounts of other metals added to make certain formulas of steel.
Yeah.
Yep, unfortunately that happens.
I mean, that's like I've got a supervisor that retired about 1.5 2 years ago, and he came back this year. And when he retired, he was already in the 70s. And we always asked him, why did you not retire 10 years ago? And he had enough friends that within a couple of years of retirement passed away because their bodies just were used to going and going and going, and they just stopped. And he literally worked that long out of fear of dying from stopping working. And less than maybe a little over a year after he retired, he came back part-time. I mean, it's only like a 4-hour day for him, so it worked for him, gets him out of the house, blah, blah. And it's not 50-hour, 60-hour weeks, obviously. But I get the mindset of not wanting to just stop working, especially if you're that used to it and your body's that used to it.
I mean, I know for me and Matt, it's similar. We've been disabled for a long time. I kept trying to do things right up until 15 years ago. That sounds like a long time, but 15 years ago, I had to quit. I couldn't keep going any longer.
Well, it'll kill you in the end.
I was going to say it was going to do more damage than
It was
any mental
it was doing more damage. I had to go to a special course to learn just to cope with what I'm dealing with. And that was a medically approved training course for learning to live with long-term and permanent disability.
Mhm.
Until I did that course, though, the idea of stopping wasn't there. I wasn't going to stop. But I knew what I was doing. A week's solid work would be from 10 in the morning till midnight for 7-8 days straight.
Yeah.
But it was getting to the point it was taking me up to 2 weeks to recover from that.
Yep.
Oh, Martin, that's ingrained in us since birth over here. You literally work till you die, and then you're done. That's all you really got.
The Presbyterian fucking church. That's what the cause of it is.
There's a lot of influences like that are still, whether people want to realize or not, influencing things.
That's what your country was grounded on.
Right, but it's saying people nowadays are, especially these lovely woke generations are talking this way and that way. Okay, but you still, whether you're trying to go the exact opposite as much as you're trying to, things are still there. You're not realizing you're doing or saying or whatever. Because the country is this way. Is it a good thing? No, but it is this way.
The thing is I just don't see how America is going to survive, because you've got no trade. You're not going to have any trade coming in. Europe is now refusing to take any weapon systems from America.
And think all of our great industrial, movements have destroyed enough farmland that
your farmland. The only way to fix your farmland and the Dust Bowl thing is fertilizer. Well, there's a problem with that. Where are you going to get the fertilizer from? Because that's petrochemical. Well, you can't get that because some genius fucking shut the. It's
right. And you are the sources, the organophosphates that are being mined in this area.
And Europe isn't going to deal the way it's looking, and Canada as well are refusing to deal with Trump.
That's the one thing I'm hoping is going to change. I mean, obviously not right away. I'm not stupid.
But Canada,
power, they might slowly be like, show us you're not as stupid as he let you seem to be, and maybe we'll open a little bit here and there just to make things.
Canada has already put it in paper, and it is already in power that there will be no business dealings with America for 15 years minimum.
I believe it. I mean, it's one more issue that we have to deal with that is going to be more of an issue than people think to realize.
And I don't want people to think that I'm saying every American is a bad person, because they're not. There's a lot of good Americans. There are. Unfortunately, the fucking moron who's in the fucking...
That's representing all those people. Right.
And that is the only word you can use for that, man, is moron. The same as the moron we've got in power. They're destroying everything.
I was just thinking of something there. The other thing where the other thing where you've got a big problem with trying to make land fertile again, water.
Well, see, here's the thing: we've got
You
areas
haven't
like on
got
like this
it.
side of the country that we still have fertile land. That's not the issue. The issue is the amount of land has shrunk so much because they've been doing. Well, we need to build 15 homes over these few acres so we can get people moved in and get the rent started paying on them. Okay, you just concrete and paved over very, very good soil that you
Yeah.
could have had so much luck with. You know,
But what's the American population at the moment? What is it? 300 million?
yeah, roughly.
If you farmed the whole of America, you wouldn't have enough to feed them.
Well, oh, definitely agree. But here's the issue too. Think about it. Obviously, you'd have that issue, but even now, even before he came into power, you still had how many people going hungry and that were homeless and everything else with all of trade open.
The system needs to change.
Oh, in a lot of ways.
The system
Well,
needs to change drastically.
here's an idea.
You go real
How
simple.
about we have a
both
system?
leaders making it to where homeless can't even like. Obviously, I get that we don't want the homeless sleeping all over the cities thing. I get it, but dude, people got to fucking sleep somewhere.
Well, whether
You
they mention, okay, all right,
But
you
now-
don't want.
they're spending money instead of putting it into like homeless shelters, having more shelters and more assistance for these people to get them back on their feet, right?
You
They're
don't want people on the
Park
street.
benches that have spikes embedded in them in certain spots and shit on the curb so they can't sleep there without hurting themselves.
You don't want people sleeping on the streets. You don't want drug addicts on the streets. Stop making fentanyl so readily available,
And other shit too. It's all mixed with that shit.
right? Because you're making fentanyl so let's be honest, the fentanyl and Tylenol thing. The government's saying, "Oh, it's because of these drugs. That's what the problem is." Yeah, who fucking came up with fentanyl? American farmer. Because morphine wasn't strong enough, so some genius said, "I know, we'll invent a new drug. It's 85% stronger than morphine."
And we're going to make it so easily available that everyone's going to get addicted to it, and we'll have a
Yeah,
photo.
it's highly addictive. Everybody will be addicted to it. It'd be wonderful. The big, beautiful plan. No.
That's it. You have another small problem. How many tens of thousands of people every year become homeless just because of your health system?
Well, this
Oh, trust me, I'm waiting to see. 'Cause obviously, I do have my insurance and everything, so it will do a certain bit. I'm waiting to get the paperwork after Nova gets her tonsils and everything done. I want to see what the bill is for that.
I dread to think.
Because I did see a video of somebody else who didn't have insurance do the same procedure for their kid within the last year or so. So it was a $100,000 bill for a 20-minute surgery. That's not even a surgery; it's an inpatient or outpatient, procedure.
100,000.
Like I said, I want to see what the actual numbers when I get the bill, because obviously, being with the internet is you can't always trust people's actual numbers.
You see it all. Hiya, Mike. You see it all the time. No, Mike. No. You don't want to be addicted to fucking morphine or to fentanyl, believe me. Obama tried bringing in an NHS style plan, and that was totally shut down by the Senate.
Because of the money behind it, because that cuts into their payment and everything else. Oh yeah.
If you'd had a proper health system in America, even if it just cut down, even if you still had to pay a certain amount to it,
right?
Say 20-30%. How many people would that save?
Well, here's the thing about it too. Like the insurance that I personally have, it's not the lowest level, but it's not the highest level either. It's a middle ground for what I need versus what I want to spend per month on it, right? The thing is though, like mine is just enough that if I take the kids to the doctor, I don't have a copay when I go. Most people do. And that copay goes off of how much you pay per, month on your insurance. So say you do the bare minimum just so you legally have insurance and you're able to keep something, because Obama did put that lovely thing in place at one point that if you didn't have health insurance, you got fined for not being able to afford health insurance. So that being what it is, it also comes into, okay, my kid is sick, I need to take them to the doctor and okay. So now you've got a on average $20 copay just to even walk in the doctor's office. You have to pay that, do your insurance, do all that. Then you have the bill for the actual visit at the doctor. Oh, and then they're going to send you antibiotics, say, over to the pharmacy. So now you got to go to the pharmacy and go spend the money for that from them, which again goes on to your insurance, to where if your insurance isn't very good, you guys have heard from me say before, well, medication was this much and now it's 4 or 5 times the price a month later. That happens with antibiotics and which manufacturer makes it and how much is available at the time.
So here's a radical idea. Okay, you still have co-pays and all that on major issues. On that base level, your primary care, your main GPs, things like that, make those a fixed price access for everybody, meaning people can afford it, and they will go to the doctors when something starts, not when it's become so serious it is killing them.
Yep. When that thing, a lot of people over here do have that issue of, oh my God, I need $1 million worth of treatment. Yeah, because you couldn't afford the treatment 5 years ago, even that would have been so much less invasive. But even then, that was too much money for you to still buy groceries that week, so you didn't do it.
And you didn't do it the next week, and you didn't do it the week after that.
Yep.
Exactly, Martin. We're when you think about it, although we moan about the NHS, and I do, but when you actually, shut up moaning and actually look at what we've got, we're very lucky. We're very lucky to have what we've got, really. And the NHS do a very good job, the doctors and nurses and so on.
Well, and think about it this way. If, say, you have the best health you possibly can your entire year, you don't get sick, you don't get anything over a cold, you don't need nothing, you have a good year, right? No major issues. You still spent a pretty decent chunk, we'll leave it at that, for your insurance that whole year long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you have that fight of, well, is it worth even having insurance if I'm not, I'm losing money at this point, right? But then you say, okay, the next year I'm going to change my mind. I'm not going to get insurance this year. I had a whole year last year of no major issues, no point. 2 days later, before you cancel, you get in a car accident.
Or you pick up a major kidney virus.
Exactly, Mike. Exactly. I mean, a lot of us are like that.
Heart attack or anything, major that you need actual treatment for.
I dread to think
now you're really, really screwed, because depending which hospital they take you to, say the closest hospital to you is a private hospital that only takes insurance patients. Hey, you got shot in the head and you're bleeding from the head, but you don't have insurance, so we got to ship you 35, 45 miles over to the public hospital so they can help you, because they help people without insurance and just bill you later. But if you don't have insurance, we don't trust that you're going to pay it, being a private hospital, so we won't treat you.
But the issue is this is not a new thing with America.
Oh, this has been
your whole system, was founded on this style of system.
It's a money making thing. It's literally a pyramid system of sales.
Yeah.
And basically, since the Second World War, it has gotten worse every decade.
And it is pure, unadulterated greed.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the big businessmen. I'm not going to say the obvious one in the Oval Office, but the J.P. Morgans, the Rothschilds, all of these big businessmen, the millions and billions of pounds that they have made through people dying. They don't care.
What? And that's the thing, if you look at it too, like, I mean, let's go to the big one, most recent big one, COVID, right? obviously you had both sides of, oh, this is a horrible pandemic. Yeah, this side of, oh, this is some fake news bullshit, and we're only, sorry, we've all seen enough people we know personally that got COVID and got very sick from it, and people that died from it and everything else had permanent effects.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it was like 95% of the people we know, because it wasn't. But we did have certain people we knew that had things happen. But that was so muddied up at the same time with all the other, like over here, the COVID death numbers that honestly, to this day, we really don't know, because the hospitals that needed funding and always need funding got extra funding if that's what you're diagnosed with.
The issue with the whole COVID thing
give
was,
them some cold medicine underneath the COVID vaccine and send them home, and they're fine.
was there a virus or flu that was making people very ill? Yes. We know that. We all saw people who were struck down with some flu-like virus, okay? Like Jenny Sin. Jenny came down with it. She was hospitalised. She was very ill, not very well at all. But what I will say is, I don't think this whole, it was COVID, it was this, it was that, you must take this injections.
That the specific of it is what I don't agree with. Exactly right.
I never had the injections. None of them. I refused to have them. Right? Now, I'm not saying that people weren't struck down and people were ill. They were, and unfortunately, there were some terrible cases. But what I'm saying is, I believe it was a strain of flu, and there's always different.
That mutates every year, multiple times a year. Absolutely.
If you go back long enough back, you go back to the Spanish flu epidemic, and that killed far more people than the COVID virus.
Yeah.
This was a money-making. There was a lot of people made a lot of money out of the COVID virus.
Oh, yeah.
There are a lot of people made a lot of money. I will argue one thing, though. The vaccination will have reduced the numbers.
I think yeah.
I mean, because of the nature of some of my conditions, I had to have the vaccine. It's the same as I have the flu vaccine every year.
Yeah.
Because if I get taken down with the flu, I'm in hospital.
Yeah.
It's that simple. There's no second thought about it. I am in hospital.
God's sake, don't start, Lee, with Monty Python sketches.
But
I mean, I remember when I had something the December before COVID officially was talked about. I don't know what that was, but that was the worst flu, cold, whatever the fuck you want to call it, I have ever had in my life. I was so sick for a good 2-3 weeks. It was horrible.
I had the misfortune 93. I came down with one of the flu strains that was about then. It took me out for 2 weeks. I went back to work, and within 2 days, there were 2 different serious flu strains at that point. I was back at work for 2 days and came down with the second one, which took me out for nearly 5 weeks.
I still stick by what I said, and I'm not trying to argue with people. I know it was serious, and I'm not denying people had a virus. What I'm saying is that this was a flu derivative.
Oh yeah,
not what they were making it out to be at the start, and the confusion that was caused again by politicians and their Boris Johnson with his. You can go out. You can't go out. You mustn't go out. You shouldn't go out. You can do this. You better not. Mate, make your fucking mind up.
Well, so you guys had that over here. We had this is extremely serious. But you keep your distance. But if you wear a mask, you can still go to work every day and still be around people and walk and touch the same door handles. And that's fine. Don't worry about the contact.
I'll be honest. I did like one thing about COVID. Social
Leave me the fuck
distancing
alone.
was brilliant. I could go to the supermarket
Yeah, I
and
quite
not have
enjoyed
a
it.
panic attack.
I
Yeah,
quite enjoyed
I did enjoy the fact that people stayed at least comfortable distance away from you. You didn't have that guy 2 inches
Yeah.
behind you in line at the queue. Like, can you just back up like 3 feet before I elbow you in the nose?
No, you just do what Gwendolyn used to do. Turn around and cough at people.
Oh, no.
No,
I mean-
I don't know who taught her this trick.
That bullshit.
Mm.
She just turned around and coughed at people and then fuck off.
I mean, mine's during COVID, it particularly applied well. If you had somebody who got too close to you at the checkout, you know that little bar that you put behind your shopping?
Yeah.
This is next customer, please. You just go,
Mm.
see this? Here's where I want you to stand, and throw it down the aisle. I actually did that to somebody
I believe it.
because they were stood about that far from me.
Yeah.
And I get uncomfortable if somebody stands that far without COVID.
Right. I'll tell you what, though, there's a couple industries that I don't know if they saw it coming or not, but made a hell of a killing, and it wasn't just the pharmaceutical companies. Tell you what, the face mask companies, toilet paper manufacturers, and people that do bottled water probably made the most killing.
Oh, I know, Martin. I know. I'm not denying that people in hospitals, especially, there were people were dying, and it was terrible. And I'm not belittling that in any way. People who died, not in any way.
I mean,
It was
I have to
terrible.
be honest, during COVID, was when I was preliminary diagnosed with the liver disease. I couldn't have the full diagnostic tests because it was overnight in hospital for a year.
Yeah.
Because it took a year before York Hospital had a ward that they could isolate from anywhere with COVID.
Yeah.
Mm.
You
So
see,
So you doesn't get
a year before I could go in to have the test where they actually took a biopsy out of my liver.
what annoys me
We had
is
the whole,
it's
we had the whole COVID wings here that the nurses were throwing all kinds of money at them. Hey, if you'll work the COVID floor, we'll give you extra money and for your time and everything. That's wonderful if you don't get sick.
why has nobody released how many people died then? Because nobody has ever released the numbers on the amount of people who died in the UK of COVID. Official numbers. It's never been fucking released.
I'll give you one good reason, and I know this has happened. Somebody got COVID, went across the road to go to the shop, got run over, and their death was put down as COVID. No, it's because they were run over by a car.
Which is still terrible. Somebody died.
I'm not belittling the fact. I'm not belittling the fact the guy died because he was run over, but his death was put down as COVID.
I said same thing over here because the hospital got more, governmental funding if that was the cause of death. Like there was people that, mind you, probably did get COVID, but they were up there, 70s, 80 years old, that were already medically not doing well. On deathbed, so to speak. And there was a family member saying, they were already marked to die in the next month anyway. Any sickness would have taken them out.
Yeah.
But because it was COVID, it labeled that way. And that's where the hospital was doing what they thought they should do, I guess.
But here's another one that pisses me off immensely. The American health insurance industry has Americans convinced that single-payer health systems have death panels, can refuse cover, have waiting lists massively longer than in America. And yet I know for a fact, if you need it, you get it under the NHS.
Yeah.
No questions, No, oh, well, maybe, I'm not sure. No. Oh, computer says no. No. Oh, you can't go in because you can't afford to stay in the hospital for the 3 days after surgery that you need to.
Mm-hmm.
The American insurance industry is ripping people off to the tunes of trillions.
Yeah.
Not millions, trillions.
One thing that bothers me too is think about, like I said, like the older generations over here. That obviously you have certain medications, certain needs for hospitals and doctors and all that. Look at the rates they're actually charging these doctors to the companies that doing all this stuff. It's a lot of money moving hands.
And because of changes in the bill that a certain person made, it's made it worse.
Mm-hmm.
The big, beautiful plan.
Oh, there's the other one as well. Oh, you had flu 5 years ago. You've got flu now. Oh, right. It's a pre-existing condition. We're not covering you.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, given it's not like the
You
flu,
had
but
you had
same
a
idea,
condition 5 years ago. You've contracted a similar condition again. They are not connected. I know people who've had flu nearly every year for 20 years.
Exactly, Martin.
The ones that'll get you, Bill, say you get into an accident and screws when your knee's up, right? Obviously, you're going to have issues right away. You're going to have certain rehab and everything else to get yourself moving properly, depending how bad it was and all that. Okay, cool. Say that's dealt with the first time when that accident happens. 3 or 4 years down the line, whatever, say they had to do an implant or something, to the actual knee, and that's starting to deteriorate and this and that. Now it needs worked on again. Well, you've had that for so long. That's nothing new. So we don't really technically have to. There's no claim we can really file for that. You have to just kind of pay for that or deal with the pain. Mind you, you've got old medical equipment in your body that is. I mean, you've seen the recalls on certain joints they've had over the years where they start rusting or anything, and you're not going to cover that now because it was dealt with once and you already paid for it once, so you're not worried about it.
At least we use titanium. I'm dread to think what you use in America.
Pig iron.
Yeah, he's using pig iron again.
Now we're going to the peg leg style.
Oh God, the
talking of peg leg. Where is he?
I was gonna wait for Steve to get here for this part, but so there's a guy I see on TikTok all the time. He's same as Steve. He's a double amputee from the knee down, right? And he's got the implants and everything, so where he can put his legs on and do all that. Well, he has what he calls stubby feet. It's just a pad, that's so.
I've seen those.
3 or 4 feet tall. Well, he decided he wanted to see what he could turn into feet.
I've seen him, yeah.
He got a plunger.
Yeah,
and made feet out of plungers. And he said, dude, the sound effect was the best thing ever. Pop, 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 pop.
Yeah, but that's dealing with your disability through comedy. That's the best way.
And how we've talked about so many times, it helps a lot.
Well, I said, met a man. I haven't seen him since.
True mine.
Yeah, friend of mine. I haven't seen him since 2015 because paths diverge, and a lot of the stuff we used to do together were 100 miles apart. So we don't meet up the same as we used to.
Yeah.
Last year he had to have a leg amputation. Another diabetic. So yesterday I walked in. First thing I said to him, "Oh, you're legless again."
But no,
comedy is the best way.
I would like to take the Terminator style. If I can do it all like that, we'll talk.
The thing is, I knew I could say that to him without any worry. He'd go, "Yeah, but the 25% off helped me lose weight."
You should like to give you a discount at the queue as well.
Yeah. He said the 25% weight loss was worth it.
Yeah, but you know how to pay twice as much for shoes and they're half as useful.
Yeah, but he can walk better now with a prosthetic leg than he could 10 years ago. Because 10 years ago, he had to rely on a mobility scooter. Now he can walk again.
Yeah. What's funny you say that, actually, 'cause I did see one probably a few months ago, but basically one guy had, I think he said it was like a $75,000 prosthetic. Like he had to plug it into with USB every night and it had actuators and all this different shit, right? And then the other guy had your basic, titanium prosthetic. Same level of prosthesis, same point in the leg and everything. You would not believe how much easier it is for the guy who didn't have the fancy one to get around.
Yeah.
And the funny part is the guy who had the really expensive one he goes, watch this though. Because obviously there's power switches on it and all that. He took it and hit the power switch and it has a delay and it'll teeter the power off and then shut off. He goes, now watch what happens. This is the same thing that happens if my battery starts dying when I'm out in public walking around. And he went to step up onto a curb as it's shutting down, and the whole thing just went, and he almost dropped himself. He's like, now imagine it just stopping mid full force walk through a shop.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, it's cool and it's helpful for certain things, but the basic one actually is a lot more reasonable if you're going to use it every day.
They're reliable, they're lighter, they put far less strain on the rest of your body.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the important thing, because they are simple, reliable, and lightweight.
Now, just because of Mike's comment, all I can think about is from, again, Wild Wild West, where he's got the guy, 2 sword hands. Oh, shoot, I got one of those. Will kicks his boot down, the little thing pops out of his boot. Mike pulls his leg off. I got one of those.
Mike could end up stabbing his other foot.
He'd forget to put the leg back on.
No, Mike, I know what you want. You want one of those where it's a double sword, so that when you pull your foot off, you've got a sword in your hand and one on your foot. So you can either kick them to death or stab them to death.
It's like the what was it, the double foot attack from Don't Mess with the Zohan.
And then we've got your government who thinks that quotes from movies are a good way of dealing with serious political.
Not even political. No, we're going to quote them as Bible verses.
Yeah, it's quoted as biblical stuff.
Yeah, from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
I love how he was so. I saw that video. He was so confident what he was saying. He was so confident for being so wrong.
Yeah, but he then went on to quote something from An Officer and a Gentleman. If you saw the full speech, he also quoted An Officer and a Gentleman.
And not forgetting, Operation Epic Fury. Yeah.
I mean, Operation Epic
Fury.
Operation Epic Cock Up. Honestly.
Come and help us open the Straits of Hormuz. They were open until you attacked Iran. You twat. You want us to come and undo what you fucked up?
Do you reckon Donald
I meant to hit the Diet Coke button. I swear, I just wanted Diet Coke. Well, you fucked it rather royally there, Donald. Thanks.
You've just nuked half of the Middle East. But I've got me Coke.
No better. Well, why was it even aimed that way? When I hit that button by accident, why did it go there? Because you were the one looking through with the telescope trying to see what you could see across the world, you dumbass. You just forgot to move it back.
I think they should make a film about this in years to come.
They will.
A comedy.
Well, Martin, I don't know if you saw when he, after all of his lovely comments about Sleepy Joe, which I'm not saying Joe wasn't sleepy, but he was old sleepy. He wasn't senile sleepy. And hey, Lisa. And he literally, Trump, what was it, probably 2 days ago, had that conference where he falls asleep mid conference. His eyes roll back and tell he's getting, well, the exorcism of Donald Trump happening. And then he snaps away. Somebody stabbed him in the keister. So I'm not sure.
That's what that's what they need to do. They need to have a metal spike. So if he falls asleep, you just press a button. It's like
no.
Yeah,
they
can
need
we
to
make it about 4 foot long?
See his wig go up.
See, I was just thinking, make sure the chair's all metal lined, proper, conductor, car battery or two. It'll wake him up. Just the whole, dial on how much power regulate. Don't worry about that. That's too expensive. Just straight lead connection.
3-phase 410.
Yeah, that'll do.
And now I've got the what was it? The second Home Alone movie, second or third, where the guy gets electrocuted in the lawn chair.
Exactly. Joe had dementia. That's the difference. The thing is, everybody put Joe Biden down. And yes, Joe, I mean, he was old. And
it
the
wasn't
dementia
a proper
was,
time in his life to be where he was, in that position.
but he still wasn't as dangerous.
Yeah, I said that's the one difference. Sleepy Joe still had a moral code that was moral.
Yeah.
As opposed,
Trump has no concept of morality
or reality.
What's reality?
In the words of the dumbass I work with, I don't live in everybody else's reality. I live in my own reality where I get what I want. Well, that's what Trump thinks.
Great, we've got a second one.
You found your next president. He's working with Tyler.
But now I understand more and more why I don't like that guy.
Very true, Lisa.
Yeah, I'll agree there. The people
Fair.
around him had no morals.
I don't think anybody in the Senate has any morals, do they?
To be honest, no. Their morals are money. It's going to give me the most.
You can have so many, hundreds of thousands, a million people that are starving on the streets every day, but you've got people in the sun stuff. What are they bringing home per year? What, 400,000 to 800,000?
Exactly, Lee.
Yeah, plus all the handouts.
Well, we don't accept gifts.
I mean, big pharma are paying some of those senators millions every year.
Oh yeah,
and the same goes for the tobacco companies are paying some of those senators millions every year.
I mean, at the same time though,
that's not open for debate because we can we can find the figures.
Talking about people who have no morals, are deluded on their political views.
Before you attack the short Scotsman, I had a funny segue at least.
That was a good one. I'll give you that.
So for all of these politicians, we've seen lovely decision making over all the years, especially when in office. I've seen the video before, but it popped back up yesterday, and it always makes me laugh. I think it was a year or two, maybe a little after Bush Jr. got out of office, right? And he's at some big press conference or whatever the hell, but he's not the one speaking. He's just off to the side, while they're talking. And then somebody realized that he's acting kind of funny, so they took the camera and they panned over and they just stayed on him to see what he was going to do. I don't know what level of edibles that man took, but that was the funniest I'm trying to keep a straight face in public I've ever seen in my life. See George Bush and you could tell because he's sitting there, he's trying not to laugh, and then he looks around, stops, checks around himself, goes, ugh, and just like smiles to himself and tries to shake it off, and then tries to stay still as much as possible. Absolutely fucking hilarious.
I've good news for you guys. He hasn't said anything else stupid.
I mean, he put out a lot of stupid comments in the past few days, so I'm hoping he
One or
tires himself
two.
out.
I mean, well,
Now,
I mean,
Matt, on with the proper piss take.
well, no, Vic's done his little ranty bit about his political views, about how we should all support
Deformed.
the Deformed Party.
And then him going back under this rock.
Yeah.
It's not a
Oh, what's
rocket boulder.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What's that other party that
I'll go for it, mate.
sounds
Go ahead.
similar? That new one.
Deluded?
Well, yeah.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I know. You mean the one? Yeah. Oh. Restore Britain. That's it.
That's it.
If you believe what they say, great. If they did what they say they're going to do, they're politicians.
Yeah.
They're not going to do what they say.
Oh, God, no.
You know, it's that's it. Rupert Lowe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, none of these parties we've got at the minute are going to do anything particularly useful.
But what worries me most is Restore and Reform are both right wing at best, far right at their extreme.
I'm with Lee on that. If you want a good laugh, have a look at the Green Party because that's
Hilarious. I
that's
know.
comedy gold. They're
That is very truly. But at the minute, there isn't really a solution.
No.
I think the only thing we can do, Lisa, is try and get the current bunch of idiots we've got out. The issue is who do we get in? Because, and we've talked about this before, Conservative aren't going to be any good at the moment.
No, the Conservatives need to pull their fingers out of their asses.
Liberal Democrats are not going to.
They're starting to have some decent ideas, though. They're a long way from being capable of running the country, though.
At the end of the day, none of the political parties are fit for purpose.
I stand by something I said a couple of years ago. We need a party of unity. Doesn't matter who you represent, there is one government. Parties are irrelevant once it's formed.
Yeah.
And then you have to make your case for whatever you believe in. And if it's worthwhile, then it's put to the vote.
Yeah. It'd be nice to see somebody who is actually going to stick to a plan. That's what we need.
We do. But we need to do away with what we've got at the minute, which is a party that simply isn't listening because it knows it's screwed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to do everything it can to screw up the country. And it's been quite successful at that.
Mm-hmm. Very successful.
I agree, Mike. Yeah. Yeah.
I just dread to think what had happened if Deformed got in with a big enough majority.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of their policies are beyond out there. They're dangerous. They're as dangerous as Trump. If they actually got power, we're fucked.
You need somebody who is actually gonna. I hate to say this, and people will probably hate me for saying it, but we need somebody along Margaret Thatcher's lines who, love or hate her, at least when she said she was going to do something, she actually stuck to it. She stuck to what she was going to do.
She did something else as well that no leader has done since. She told us before we voted for her.
Well, I mean, if you want to become a politician, Lee, and you want to be prime minister, that's fine with me.
It's fine.
Well, think he already has that great image for his headshot. You know, beer blowing in the wind on the mountaintop.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we can work on a plan to get you into a position of political power if you really want. It's
Yeah,
worth
that
a
picture
try.
was the party political broadcast for Lee.
Thing though, I mean,
And
he might
have
think
caption on the bottom of it saying it'll be right.
he'd do a better job.
That'll be right.
But the only problem is, I feel like Lee would squander government money. He would. I swear he would, because there'd be about 473,000 guitars in a secret back room bunker. You know, with a bar remote.
Are you questioning our future leaders' morals?
When it comes to expensive guitars and amps, yes.
Oh, here has
just think, Leo actually have one of the actual murder ones.
Well,
It's going to turn number 10 into a fucking rehearsal studio.
Sounds good to me.
Well, it ain't much good as well for what it is meant to be.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so beach friendly.
Oh,
so he wasn't being an outdoorsman and outdoors and everything. He was just being posh sitting out on the beachfront. Okay.
Oh, just think. The Houses of Parliament as a concert venue. And then we bulldoze the buildings next to the Houses of Parliament for a car park. And make a road. And make a free road straight into the middle of London. So that you don't have to pay that stupid fucking tariff.
We are not knocking down like old bits of London, thank you.
No, I was thinking the MI5 building. It's only just down the road, and you can put a high-rise car park in it.
It would be interesting. What would find out what the acoustics are like in Houses of Parliament, wouldn't it?
Well, it actually has an acoustically designed ceiling, doesn't it?
Yeah, don't we know it when them lot are shouting?
Man, listen, the reverb in here, I'm bitching.
No, it's been set up to cut the reverb.
Mm.
I mean,
That's the
I
only
would
way to
probably-
mute individuals.
I think we should keep the seating though in the Houses of Parliament, but just turn it
Yeah, and where the woolsack
and
is,
stage it.
that's
So
and where the woolsack is, from their back is the stage.
there you go.
And just think, unlike Rock City, you could actually put a drum riser in.
Can I have the big seat at the end?
What,
can
behind
have
the band?
I can have the comfy chair.
Oh, the last decent speaker was Betty Boothroyd.
Oh, she was
Mhm.
quality. Yeah,
'Cause
I will have
By God, she could put somebody down if they were getting Larry.
the speaker's chair, but I'll have it modified so I can have a recliner.
No, you'll have the full top down lazy boy. You hit the button, it reclines back, hit it the other way, it stands you all the way straight up.
No.
Just drill a
want
hole
to
in the arm
lie
so
back
the
and chill out.
fine.
Have pop out spring-load table on the side, put your mods there. See?
Yeah, trouble is, when Trump says he's going to do something, he follows through. Not with what he
Yeah.
says.
It's a different way of following through. That is that. Yeah. Yeah, mini fridge. But I want one of those Marshall mini fridges. Have you seen them? You can get a Marshall mini fridge. It looks like an amp. And
I know what I'm talking about. Yeah,
I want one.
I figured you just put a kegerator next to you with a quality keg in it.
No, I found a pub locally that's shut down, and they've left some old beer. They've left some. They may have left some barrels, and I'm waiting to see if they pick them up, because if they don't pick them up, I might.
And convert at least one of them to a mini fridge.
Well, no, I was thinking of making maybe making a light or something in here with it. It's be quite cool.
I don't know. I've seen people that take the kegs and cut them properly and hinge the lid on it and do an actual barbecue smoker out of them.
You're right, gee, they have.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Now that I look at it, thinking about it that way, gee, yes, they did. Oh, so speaking of the hairdo, again, watching one of the comedy specials during work through the week to get through the fucking day. This guy said, obviously, you have like sign language interpreters for events like this, for the deaf and everything. And he said at one point he would say certain things, and he was saying how it was signed. So we started getting, okay, wonder if I can just say really random things. I want to see how you sign certain words, right? Did this one, did that one. Certain ones, obviously, you just spell out, right? And then he said Trump. Mind you would think that with, ASL does change, pretty regularly, but you figured that'd still be a spell out item, right? You would just spell out Trump. No. The sign language for Trump is of his hair flopping in the fucking wind. Not even kidding.
Or if you want to see something funny, I don't know if you were there the year they put a sign language interpreter at Monsters.
Yes.
That was fucking hilarious.
No, dude, have you ever seen the one? It was one of Eminem's old tours from years ago. And one of his the fastest songs he ever did. And literally, you had Eminem out there just doing what Eminem does. This interpreter, I don't know if it was that she was that big of a fan or what, but this woman is sitting there just throwing shapes out of there, keeping up with him. It was kind of impressive how quick she
Do you
was
know
doing.
what I want to see? I want to see somebody who does the sign language doing sign language to Napalm Death.
Oh, that would be brilliant.
That would be epically good. Somebody would end up breaking their arm or dislocating their shoulder or something.
Well, you ever think why Trump doesn't have interpreters? Because think at some point they're going to have to start spelling everything because nothing's actually a word anymore.
Well, no, all you're going to see is that.
Oh, bullshit.
It was that speech where he was going on, and then he went, and
everybody standing behind him just kind of started going, okay.
What did he say?
And he didn't even like stop and be like, like try to shake it off or anything. He just kept going like he never fucked up.
Sign language in a Brummie accent. That's it. Next show, Lee, we need to get somebody.
And break an elbow.
We need to get somebody to do sign language for G. So we got like a Glaswegian sign language specialist.
No, but we got to get him pissed off first. We got to get him truly fired
get
up.
Him really pissed off. Get him on some buckies so he's really wind him up.
I would say one way to trigger him, but I'm not going to.
I dare you.
Nope.
I mean, you only have to say it once. You ain't say he's already here. You're not summoning.
I know. No, I was wondering when he popped up. No one said the word.
Just one word.
There's no point using the A word anymore.
No.
There is another word we could use.
I mean, at this point, it's just kind of when
we could
man, when
I could just address G by his given name, by his mother, his proper name. You watch, there'll be abuse in a minute. I think I've only ever called him that once and got told to fuck off.
Hey, whatever he calls it, that is on him.
Brilliant.
Why am I reading that with like a Glaswegian accent in my head?
You can hear it.
Oh! Now the threats are coming out.
Oh, low blow, Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
And she's off the pain meds, so she can't even, I took my medicine. I got a little. No, I just Lisa being Lisa.
Low blow, Lisa.
Just start sending G Stevie Nicks songs. I'll fuck his sleep pattern up. I'll go and park outside, put a speaker on his window and start playing Stevie Nicks songs while he's trying to sleep.
I was going to say,
yeah, you can get those ones that you can actually permanent glue to the window, can't you?
Glue it to the window and Bluetooth it.
Transducer speakers.
It's just cost me 600 quid. Why? I had to replace the fucking window.
No, better. You sneak into his flat, you attach him to the air vent. That way it reverberates off the entire building.
I do actually agree with G on Stevie Nicks. She has got a fucking harsh voice. It's like Sam.
I just went with it.
She
Man,
recorded a couple of songs that were tolerable until I saw them played live.
out of studio or even worse?
No,
Oh, fuck, yes.
Gee, when you said that, or at least typed it, did you go flying through your own back wall, bud?
the remake of The Exorcist starring G.
See it
Of
now.
course, Stevie Nicks.
No, it'd be
Stevie
like
Nicks.
opening the
I'm
scary movie.
waiting. I'm waiting.
Stevie Nicks can be Regan. And G is The Exorcist. He just stab her with a cross.
Fuck it, just kill her.
Well, gee, we talked about it before. The doctor gave you the ointment, man. Just use it. Come on.
Hey, at least none of us lot are moving to Alabama. That's all I'm saying.
You actually, it's a bad option.
Actually, yeah, compared to where you live, it's.
Say, think about it actually properly. Think about it.
How actually, it reminds me, how is the banjo practice going?
I'm still trying to figure out the,
He's going to be sat down there on the porch, isn't he, playing Deliverance?
No, exactly. Sit there with the banjo.
Remake of The Exorcist with Napalm Death as a soundtrack. Oh,
Sounds
God,
good.
That'd be a good remake. I'd watch that.
Oh, you remember how we were talking about that Ace Ventura movie the other day? About how like they did the music for it and every accident of getting for the opening scene. What was it, Cannibal Corpse in the beginning of that one? I saw an interview with Cannibal Corpse the other day about that whole thing.
Yeah.
He said basically, the reason they got it is because they had already asked like 3 other bands and went, fuck, they'll do. No one else said yes.
Yeah, but Cannibal Corpse, I don't know if you said it in the interview, but Cannibal Corpse were on tour at the time.
Right. But then
and they had to put the filming, they put the filming back about 3 days.
Jim Carrey came to them personally. It was like, will you do this? Yeah.
Yeah. Jim Carrey's a Matt lad.
Oh, yeah.
So, and he likes Cannibal Corpse. What more can you say? That for me, yeah.
Well, have you ever seen him like in like the off takes, some of those movies where they have stuff like that playing? He's enjoying the music. It's not just because it was part of the film.
How could you not enjoy Cannibal Corpse seeing him live? They're fucking.
I'll say, gee, one thing I have to say though, you've got to keep the Mike Oldfield intro.
It would be wrong not to keep Mike Oldfield intro, really, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I remember seeing that. I can't remember. I was only young at the time when I saw The Exorcist. I still love the film.
It's a good
really
film.
do. I think it's a brilliant film. I bet that's another one Tyler's never watched.
Nope.
You've never seen The Exorcist?
Nope.
I haven't either.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I'll tell you one movie that was obviously not the same, but on the same kind of like, guidelines. Constantine was actually really fucking well made. I haven't seen that one in years.
Yeah, it's a good film. But The Exorcist, the uncut version, is good.
Yeah.
Very good.
I from what I've heard about like the making of it, they took some liberties to make it as well done to their view as they could.
It fucked up a couple of the actors.
Wasn't it one of the stuntmen ended up with a broken back?
Yeah.
And the bit where Regan does the walking down the stairs, the gymnast who did that, she got injured.
Yeah.
That was freaky. The first time you see that bit in the film, that is fucking brilliant. It was, Jay. It was that first bit of ever seeing The Exorcist. It was it was like revolutionary because you thought, what this shit is just.
Yeah, it took away a lot of Hammer's
I've watched
cheek stuff.
Tyler's not really a horror fan, though, bless him.
No, not really.
He gets scared.
It's the same thing like haunted houses. I don't see the point in that as entertainment. Given I'm also the person that if I go to like a haunted house, I'm gonna end up getting arrested for knocking the fuck out of a scare actor on accident. So, you know.
The 70s to 80, probably set as like 1970 to 1985 was a golden period for horror films.
Yeah.
There was some really, really good horror. Last House on the Left.
I'll agree, yeah.
I Spit on Your Grave, the original. Some great stuff. There's also some good comedy films as well.
There was.
See, Martin, it depends for me because, like, obviously, certain horror films are made more, whether they're older or just honestly weren't made that great, like the Saw films. They were more funny, if anything, because they were so poorly made quality-wise. You could tell how fake it all was. You know what I mean? There was no even. I mean, given it's a movie, it's going to be fake anyway. But you could tell by the way they did everything that it was just almost half-assed for the special effects.
It was because the films were well written as well. That was a lot of it. That they really were well written films.
Yeah.
I said we've discussed this before, though.
Yeah.
That's what's missing from films, certainly in the last 20 years. They've all been
even Hammer House horror.
Well, they're all about box office numbers and total sales, not about actually writing a proper movie and story.
But they're also about AI generated imagery.
Yeah.
The Hammer House of horror films, people laugh at them, but I love them.
I love them.
I really do.
Some of them were really, really well written. Cheesy as hell, but well written.
Yeah, but they had some good actors in them, mate.
They had good actors. They did have storylines.
They had half-naked women with large tits.
Not always large tits. A couple of them weren't over-endowed, but they were pleasant.
They were.
I love how he argues but doesn't at the same time.
And you did sometimes get full noodle frontality.
Oh, Lee, don't even get me started on the change. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1 and 2, classics. After that, forget it.
I mean, shoot. Just taking into account the trauma that Final Destination put on my entire generation. I still won't drive anywhere near a goddamn log truck. Hell no.
Yeah, but they were just... Do you know what it is? And this is going to sound really derogatory to Americans, but I'm going to say it anyway.
I expect nothing less.
You rely on, like, your comedy. It has to be obvious.
Yeah.
And horror films for you have to be obvious.
And they make it into a really shitty film.
It's like you have to explain a comedy film, an American comedy film. You almost have to explain the joke to the audience. It's like, no. Please.
And thing is, it's that mindset though. Of everything is always been that obvious for so many years. Like I said, I watch more British comedy than I do anything else, or anything besides American comedy, honestly, especially the older stuff. But until I got to a certain exposure level to it, it did take a minute to understand certain. I was given certain references being older references, or obviously not from where I'm from. Those you do have to learn things to get the humor behind them. But most UK, Scottish comedy like that, there's a lot more thought into it that makes it funny, not just here's a punchline.
Yeah. Which would you rather have? Something that makes you think, or something that is blindingly obvious and 30 seconds later means nothing?
Right. And that's the thing. I understand why most Americans like the obvious stuff, because most of the time you're not going to go. I mean, for a lot of Americans, you're not going to go to a comedy thing just for the fact of being funny. You're going to go, okay, I'm going to go out, I'm going to get half pissed, I'm going to go do, da da da. So at that point, mentally, you kind of need it to be kind of obvious, or you're not going to get anything anyway.
I would rather have something.
The comedy aspect and the actual writing of it, like a lot of this other stuff is.
I would rather have something that either makes me think or makes me look back slightly differently at what I've learned over the last half century.
Yeah, but for me, go-to horror, if it's go-to comedy, if it's comedy films, it will always be stuff like Monty Python.
Yeah.
And what did Monty Python do? They looked at something deeper and then looked at the absurd.
Yeah.
So you guys brought up Thatcher earlier, and all I started watching the young ones again this past few days. All I think is, no, dial Thatcher. There's an atom bomb in my kitchen. I need to sell it. I'm going to set it off if you don't give me what I...
Mike, why won't this bomb go off?
Oh, thanks for telling me about the new hole in the ceiling, guys.
Needs to watch Red Dwarf.
Does.
Now, what is the actual storyline behind Red Dwarf at all? The one thing I've ever heard about it was in the same breath as like Star Trek and stuff like that.
No. The mining ship Red Dwarf.
Jupiter Mining Corps. Sure.
Yeah. A lost spaceship in space, lost in space.
Well, I'm happy it's in space, not in the backwoods.
3 million years in the future.
Yeah.
With a cat that has turned into a humanoid.
Because so 3 million years before. 3 million years before.
Baseballs, then?
Yeah, but 3 million years before, Lister had smuggled a pregnant cat onto the ship.
Yeah.
And it was in the cargo hold, which meant it survived the nuclear blast when the engines went. And because it was one cat, there was an awful lot of interbreeding until he came up with Felix Human, aka the cat.
Yeah,
I'll have to at least look some clips of it and see, how they did it and everything. Because, like I said, a lot of it depends on the actors and how they actually played the roles and everything else.
Going to get extremely confused with Red Dwarf, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, particularly Smeghead.
Yeah,
the pompous ass. Well,
I mean, he lived up to his title.
He lived up to his title. He was a Smeghead.
Yeah. It's just brilliantly done.
Yeah, but the neurotic android didn't come until the second series.
Yeah.
I'll say, I've worn the T-shirt once. Dead Dave. They're all dead. What, Chen? Dave, they're all dead. What,
Yeah,
not Peterson?
Yeah, Peterson as well. Gordon Bennett.
And Holly, the most useless ship's computer ever.
Got another one from Monty Python quotes to Red Dwarf quotes.
What other quotes would you like? We can come up with many other shows.
I mean, you know, if you just want to fuck off back to Bristol, it'll be just fine.
Listeners, pointless quotes is endless.
Or listers class. Mostly third, but class.
Yeah. Dwayne Dibley.
Oh God, yeah. I got my thermos.
One triple thick, extra thick condo, because you never know.
Oh, now we've gone into Only Fools and Horses.
Right, I'll be back in a minute because the boy wants me to go upstairs to get me something as well. Be back in a second.
Still think porridge.
Oh, porridge is.
So I still haven't looked up porridge yet. I should go back and watch more of the On the Buses episodes because those are always great.
Open all hours.
Get
to Coast Granville.
Now, Lee, is that a quote or just talking about these assholes? Oh,
Well, both. What is your name? Don't tell him, Pike. Pike. But yeah, it's no. I've got all the box sets for all of those. The only one I haven't got is Only Fools and Horses.
I've got that.
I should stick. So I now have all the seasons at the bottom. I should put those on while I'm doing dinner and stuff after the show. Then let those play.
Yeah, but the nice thing about
Oh,
porridge,
Wolfie. Citizen
God.
Smith.
Citizen Smith. Yeah, but before Citizen Smith, don't forget, get some in.
Yes, I'm in, yeah.
Smith. How many Fs? 1 F or 2? 3.
Power to the people.
What's it? Irene Handel go around. Foxy, Foxy. Because she never would call him Wolfie, would she?
No. Fuck's sake, she was in some things, though, wasn't she? Irene Handel, bless her.
Oh, wasn't she? I mean, she was the ultimate mum in all of the comedy.
Yeah.
Everything in the 70s, just about. Irene Handel was in there somewhere.
It was either Irene Handel or Beryl Reid.
Yeah.
What else other good?
Robert Lindsay's a Shakespearean actor, though, as well.
Yeah. From Doncaster way, isn't he? Doncaster,
Yeah.
Sheffield, something like that way.
I think
Where
he's
he was.
Doncaster, yeah. But yeah,
Good actor.
he's a good actor, all-round actor.
Yeah. He must be getting on now.
God, he's got to be
70s?
well. He's got to be in his 70s, if not his 80s.
Oh, the Fast Show was brilliant.
'76. Yeah. But yeah, he was part of the RSC for a long while. Oh, he was born in Ilkeston.
Ilkeston.
Yeah,
That's Derbyshire, isn't it, Ilkeston?
yeah.
Didn't he used to work in a foundry or something? I've got a feeling he works in a... Don't know why I know that, but for some reason I know that.
Oh, bloody hell, I forgot he'd been in that. He was in That'll Be the Day in '73.
Oh, fucking hell.
That was David Essex, wasn't it?
Yeah. I do
No,
like it.
No, he's only ever been an actor. Started out Nottingham Playhouse and then went to RADA. Graduated RADA in 1970 and joined the RSC.
Okay, now. It's not really a place you'd associate with actors, though, is it, Ilkeston?
Not really, no.
But IT Crowd was good.
Yeah.
Mm.
I did like the IT Crowd. The UK version, not
Of
that
course.
fucking diabolical American rehash that you tried to do, and it was fucking awful.
I haven't even heard of that one.
Well, whatever you do, never watch the American one. It's the biggest pile of shit ever done.
I used to like Saturday Night Live, the American version. But that's when America actually had some good comedians. Because Saturday Night Live had some
The
real
original, actually, yeah.
you know, you had like Belushi and people like that.
Well, you had both of the Belushis, didn't you?
Yeah. Would you see there was the one I saw today, actually, again. It was when they had one of the first time Sandler was on, and they had him as the waiter for Chris Farley.
Yep. Chris Farley was
And he
brilliant.
said the best, it was so great because obviously Sandler was younger in his acting days back then. Dude, you can literally watch him break character like a half dozen times because Farley's just that good at what he did and it's that funny. You can't just not laugh.
Exactly, G. You also had people like Sam Kinison and people like that.
Yeah.
Fucking lunatic, that man.
Oh, absolutely, but hilarious to boot.
Sam Kinison, who was actually a Baptist preacher
Really?
before he became a comedian.
Look, that changed abruptly.
It says it all, that does.
Either it changed abruptly or he has some really interesting sermons.
He went from being religious to being a drug-fueled lunatic. And he really was.
Hang on. Is there a difference there?
Oh,
Is there a difference between a drug-fueled lunatic and a priest?
A Presbyterian priest.
the title?
Not really. No, not very much.
Didn't think there was.
Yeah, I've never watched The Office in general, Martin, so I couldn't tell you. That's one just it got so much, hype and so you gotta watch it all at once. I just never bothered.
I just find American shows usually sort of too obvious.
You'll get the odd American show, but you'll find its directors normally English.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. There's been a few of those.
Look at things like Twin Peaks had some bizarre twists to it, but that was David Lynch.
Bizarre. Have you ever seen Twin Peaks, Tyler?
No.
That's a head fuck in a bucket.
That's a head fuck for me and Bill. So
Oh,
that'll
no.
give you
I'm
an
not
idea
even-
of
nope.
how much of a head
Not
fuck
even
that
entertaining it then. Nope.
is.
The best of it is
Already. Makes it
I've
worse.
got the blue.
Insane
Yeah.
Asylum to watch it.
I've got the whole of Twin Peaks on Blu-ray
Love Twin Peaks.
and the films. Brilliant. I've also got the books.
David
and the
Lee
books-
at his best.
The books are even better because he can write in stuff that leaves your head doing even worse imagery than the Red Room.
I swear, David Lee. David Lee.
David Lynch is a lunatic.
Yeah, it's an absolute nut job.
Yeah, but it was some of it was written with Neil Gaiman,
Yeah.
Mm.
which kind of means you've got the completely bizarre meets the completely outlandish and bizarre, and comes up with what the fuck?
I would say there's some sadistic humor in there, and there you go.
Oh, there's humor in it.
Well, I said sadistic
It's
humor, but yeah.
dark.
Yeah.
It is really dark.
Oh, that's
I'll
right.
be-
The guys at work yesterday tried to just start doing, who could tell like the more traumatizingly bad, jokes.
I don't mind
Oh, they
Resident
did not want to get
Evil.
into that war. That was too easy.
The issue I have with Resident Evil is that I heard so much of a certain person waffling about Resident Evil, I got sick of hearing about it. Fucking Sean and his Resident
already knew
Evil this, Resident Evil that. It was okay, but
The only Resident Evil, like even to say games I ever played was, I think it was 4. I mean, it was a good game.
it
But-
was okay.
That was back on like PS2 also,
Yeah, but I would rather watch stuff that comes from a more twisted mind. People like David Lynch and Neil Gaiman.
Yeah.
It's got twists that will catch you out.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But remember,
Just
there's
thinking
thing can give you a nightmare. There's a difference.
in the cafe, the log lady.
Yeah.
But she would come out with something so deep.
Oh, Clive Barker. I'm a big
Yeah.
Clive Barker fan. Hellbound
Yeah.
Heart. Love Hellbound Heart. Massive Hellbound Heart fan. Very, very, very disturbing books. Own all of the books, and if you want disturbing, read them. That's some twisted. That's from the mind of a man who's, yeah, he's on a different level.
Psychologically disturbed.
Well, it
this-
was
this is
it's
about-
all the sadomasochistic stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which he ended up sort of. Well, he definitely looked into it.
I think he more than looked into it.
Oh yes,
Mm.
Scouser, of course, Clive Barker.
Yeah. Oh God, where's Neil Gaiman from? Because I mean, he's into some weird shit.
Honestly, not sure.
Why do you think I'm looking him up?
I swear he's going live almost 14 times a day now. Another notification for Jay Hayes going live.
Oh, he's from
Hampshire.
Hampshire, Porchester.
Porchester.
Yeah. I've been watching Good Omens on Prime this week. But then he wrote American
but-
Gods and Coraline and Graveyard. And then he wrote some stuff with Terry Pratchett.
Yes.
Oh, that was one I absolutely loved. Neverwhere.
Neverwhere's good.
That's got some clever twists.
Anything that's got Terry Pratchett in it is going to have twists in it.
Twists. Terry Pratchett was the only man who could walk a straight line through a corkscrew.
Yes. Brilliant writer.
Yeah. Thing with Terry Pratchett was he had so much insight into everything, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, he started off as a reporter producing all of the propaganda stuff for the nuclear power industry.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was a technical writer.
Yeah. He got bored of that quick.
Then decided to write some kids' books.
Yep, and they're great.
So that's
Yeah.
an interesting way to go.
But the thing is, from the nuclear power industry, he came up with books like Johnny and the Dead and Johnny and the Bomb.
Yes, Martin, I remember Discworld, both, Going Postal, The Truckers. I have all of the books, so yeah.
I'm missing 3.
Oh, speaking of which, I found the Kindle Bell, so I'm going to go ahead and see what I can get on there later. 'Cause now I've got a list of things I need to get.
All you need is the Kindle app on you, because you use Chromebook, don't you?
No.
Are you sure you can read?
The thing is,
Because there's some big words.
Is there a sound out function? I mean, a pop up?
yeah, I think he's only used wheelbarrow twice, though.
You what?
Wheelbarrow.
Depends which direction you're going.
So he's got confused with wheelbarrow, hasn't he?
Well, it depends on, because he used wheelbarrow twice when Lucy was involved, didn't he?
It's not Pinhead. It's Chief Cenobite. Pinhead was the nickname given to him by the people who did the makeup. Not that I'm obsessed with those films at all. I may be slightly obsessed with that genre of films.
Yeah, man.
A little bit. I was not obsessed with the remakes though.
You know how it is with remakes, though. 99% of the time, they're crap. There's been a couple good ones here and there, but they were still not better than the originals.
There is one remake of a film that I will never, ever watch. The Crow.
Oh. I bet you I can make it 2. Roadhouse.
Unfortunately, I've seen the remake of Roadhouse, and it's fucking appalling. It messes every single morality part of Roadhouse and all of the humour.
And the same with The Crow. They missed out the important part of it. Completely.
What, they missed out the fact that retribution and revenge for a murdered couple.
Yeah. They missed out. I mean, the trouble is, and I've watched the remake, and it is fucking awful. And I can't think the guy's name who, you know, the villain in the original one, whose name, I can never remember the actor's name.
Oh, I can never remember.
He had long
hair, yeah. And he was absolutely immoral. It's when him and his sister turn around and look at that lass and goes, looks like I think we broke another one.
That's it, G. But the original villain, he was brilliant. He was so twisted. You fucking despised him.
Yeah.
The remake, it's just like, yeah. You could tell it was made for American TV.
Well, it lost the essence of what actually made the original film what it was.
Well, I mean, you'd great characters in it, you know.
Oh, that's a difficult one, Martin. Do I believe there's a conspiracy? There could be. There could be with the Hong Kong people. But I think it was just an accident, to be honest.
Oh, his death. Yeah.
The whole, I mean, Bruce Lee died from basically taking I think it was Anodin he took or something, and it had an allergic reaction. Brandon, there was already a bullet in the gun when it was fired. Blank.
It was supposed to be a blank, and it wasn't, because there were 2 guns, because they were supposed to be filming after the bullet had gone through.
Yeah, that's a good film.
But they just missed so much.
Yeah, they did.
They couldn't remake The Crow and give it. I made the mistake. I watched The Crow City of Angels. And I got about 20 minutes into it and realized City of Angels was The Crow with all of the reasoning taken out of it and all of the swearing taken out of it, even though the swearing was justified.
Yeah.
And all they did was literally sanitized it for the American market. Completely.
I like the new version of it. I really did. I like Pennywise the clown. I think it's a great character. Not so great if you dislike clowns, but
Well,
Hmm.
there's one to show the kids.
yeah.
Hmm.
Show them it just before bedtime.
And then hand him a red balloon and say goodnight.
Yeah, give them a red balloon and off you go.
Yeah, Tim Curry played.
I'll walk
Tim
to school.
Curry played.
Here's your balloon to walk to school with. Avoid the drains.
Yeah, Tim Curry was good at dark characters.
Oh yeah.
It was good, yeah.
Welcome
Yeah.
to Derry was good. Right, as it's 2 hours 15, I suppose we better call it a nit. Before Tyler falls asleep.
That's better. I thought you were calling me a twist. So, yeah, that's fine. We'll leave that.
Do your goodbyes.
Probably my
Bye.
turn. Right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I hope everyone has a good week. We'll be back again next week. And don't forget, the group is there if anyone does need us. As I said, have a good week, and I'll pass that on to Tyler.
Thanks, Greg. Well, like Greg said, you guys know the group is there if anyone needs us throughout the week or just in general. Definitely more of a sporadic, just laughing show, but doesn't have to be serious every
You're
week.
fucking laughing.
Doom and gloom. Hey, here and there, I made a decent. Yeah, but no, but yeah, everybody have a good week. Again, we'll be back next week, and we'll see you then. Bill, say goodbyes, bud.
Yeah, cheers, Tyler. Oh, just remember, be nice.
Be
Be
nice.
good to your friends. Yeah, be good to your
Nice.
friends. Be good to your family. Or you can be as nasty as you like to the rest of them.
I was gonna say, what if they're not friends or family? Are we free on that one?
Yeah, you're free on that one.
Fair deal.
But group's there if you need us, and there's normally somebody about. If there isn't, there is pretty soon, and Matt's bored.
I was just-
No, I'm watching
Yes.
the fly just go past.
I knew it was a tiny light or something.
Anyway,
I've
have a
got
good
Sky
week,
Track again.
everybody, and I'll see you next week. Over to you, Matt.
Oh yeah, we will
great.
be back next week if Tyler hasn't moved to Alabama or you know.
Internet connection. Anyway,
Hey, you're the one moving to Alabama.
see, it'd be the same. Just background music might be different.
Hope you've got room for your Ewoks.
Ding, 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 ding.
Hillbilly Ewoks. We will be back next week. If anybody needs us, give us a shout. You know where we are. Apart from that, yeah, I think that's about it from us. So we shall flock off and leave people in peace. Well, for a bit anyway. And but for now, see you later, guys.